Welcome back to my channel, Lomzy Sews. In today's sewing tutorial, I'll show you how I cut and sew this flare shirt dress with shirt collar. It's a very simple tutorial and is beginner friendly. I made sure I made it detailed for everybody to understand. So let's start with the tutorial. I'll be drafting this dress on a pattern paper, then we are going to transfer to the fabric. So this I'm going to use as the shoulder line. From there I'm going to take down from shoulder to the armhole line, which is 9.5 inches, and then from there I'm going to take the length of the dress minus the gathered area. So I have 36 inches here. You can make yours to be 32 or 33 inches if you want your dress length to be like 36, final length to be 36 inches. And then I'm going to get the shoulder divided by 2. Mine is 8 inches. I'm going to square this down to the armhole line. To get the armhole length, divide bust by 6 plus 3 inches, and you're going to mark it. So from shoulder to the armhole, that's what you're going to mark. I'll go ahead and square out this line, and then I'm going to make a shoulder slope of 1.5 inches and then neck width of 2.75. Remember, this is a shirt dress. I'll go ahead and connect this. For the back neck depth, I'm going to use 1/2 inch and then connect this to the shoulder like this. And then for the neck depth, front neck depth, I'm going to make it 4 inches. I'll also connect that. So this is the back neck and this is the front. Next, you're going to get the circumference of this dress. So you're going to divide your bust divided by 4 plus 1/2 inch for ease, and you're going to mark it here. In my own case is 11 inches. I'll go ahead and also divide whatever I have for my armhole line into 2 and then come in 1/2 inch. This is for me to have a guide. So I'm going to connect this like this for the back, and for the front I'm going to go like that. So I'll use my curve ruler, my armhole curve to do this. You can use your free hand if you don't have this armhole curve. So I'm going to also connect the front armhole curve like this. So this will be for the front and this is for the back. This is an A-line shirt dress, so we're going to make a flare at the hem. So at the hem here, I'm going to measure 19 inches or at most 21 inches, but I'm using 19 inches. So I'll go ahead and connect this from the armhole straight to the hem. So you go ahead and use your ruler. This ruler is long enough. I'm trying to make sure I have an even line. So I'll go ahead and connect that like that. At the hem, I'm going to come up 2.5 inches. So I'll just mark 2.5 inches here. And then I'm going to make a curve like so. With this, the pattern is ready. I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. So first of all, I'm going to cut the back neckline, also the armhole line for the back. When I'm cutting on the fabric, I will cut the front differently. So just go ahead and cut this. You can also cut this on your fabric direct, but because I want you guys to see this, that's why I'm cutting on pattern paper. So you can actually cut this freehand on your material. All you need to do is to fold your fabric in 4 and leave some allowance for the front. So this is my pattern. I'm going to go ahead and add sewing allowance all around, and also for the front I'm going to cut out the neckline and the armhole like I told you. So this is it. This is me cutting this out. I've added half inch all around. I added half inch sewing allowance. So I'm going to also cut the front and add half inch sewing allowance for the center front. I'm going to cut the neckline like this and the armhole curve. So this is it. I've added half inch. I'm going to make the strap later, the strap later. So we're going to join this. To join this, I'm going to first of all start with the shoulder line. So right side facing together, I'm going to first of all sew the shoulder line. I'll sew half inch here and half inch here, and after sewing it, this is how it's looking. Next, we are going to go over to the sleeve. For me to cut the sleeve, I have my fabric folded into 4. As you can see, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So next thing I'm going to do is to get the sleeve head, also known as sleeve cap or bicep cap. So I have 5 inches here, and the length of the sleeve is going to be length of sleeve minus cuff. So I'm going to place this diagonally like so and mark. This is to give me a guide on how to curve the sleeve head. So I'm going to come up and meet this midpoint like this and curve it like that. I have a full tutorial on how to draft a basic sleeve. So I'll go ahead and cut this out. Make sure you always check out for my playlist. I have a lot of tutorials on my playlist. So what I have here is my round arm divided by 2 plus half inch. So at the hem, I'm going to come in 3 inches and connect this to the armhole like that. I'm sorry you're not seeing the pencil. This is why I drafted the bodies on the pattern paper. But at least this you will understand it if you're not a beginner. But if you're a beginner, always watch out for my playlist tutorials. Next, I'm going to mark for the placket opening for the shirt sleeve. So here I'm going to divide whatever I have here into 2. So I'm going to mark 3.5 inches here from the fold and go up, cut it open like 5 inches. Here we're going to be making the placket, as you can see. So I'm going to also notch the center of the sleeve, and then I'm going to open this up like this. Remember, the armhole for the front and back are not the same thing. So on the side for the front, I'm going to reduce the curve, the armhole curve like this, the sleeve head like this. So this side I'm going to notch it to be the front. So for the placket, I have a full tutorial on how to make plackets and also how to add curve to the placket. I just dropped that video. I'm going to go ahead and leave the link in the description section for you to watch. Next, I'm going to join the sleeve. So this is it. After joining it, I'll go ahead and sew the side seam. And after sewing the side seam, I'm going to add the gathers on the hem. So remember, you minus the gathers, the length of the gathers, and that's what I have here. What I did was to times the hem of the upper side. Whatever I had, I times that by 3 and made these gathers. So you go ahead and sew this to the hem. And then for the sleeve, remember I told you I have a tutorial on how to make the placket and the cuff. So after joining the side seam, I'm going to go ahead and gather this and put this into the cuff. Next is for me to sew the button stand. So here is the fabric I'll be using for the button stand. As you can see, I've ironed it and I added paper gum stay to it. You can see how I folded it. One side is folded, one side has the sewing allowance. So I'll place the side that has the sewing allowance on it and sew half inch sewing allowance. When I turn it over this way, I'm going to go ahead and do a stitch in the ditch. And after doing that, the next thing I'll do is to sew the shirt collar. Guys, this video is getting too long, so I'm going to do a full tutorial on how to do the shirt collar. I have already hemmed the lower part. As you can see, the strap, look at this, I've hemmed everything is ready. It's just remaining for us to add the shirt collar. So I'm going to drop the tutorial on how to draft the shirt collar. I'm going to make it very detailed. Make sure to watch that video if you have been battling with making your shirt collar relax properly. Then that video will be for you. I'll drop the link in the description section, and I'll also drop it at the end of this video, so make sure to watch that. I'll see you guys in my next video. So I'll go ahead and wear this for you guys to see.